Well, if a person is going to be wrong, they might as well be confidently wrong, because no reasonable man is going to feel threatened or in any way emasculated by the idea and the practice of real feminism. Because feminism, at its core, is about equality, equal rights, and equal treatment for men as well as for women. Now, I do understand that there are some individuals out there that are pushing some rather interesting ideas that women are in some way superior to men and should be treated better than men simply because they are women. But no reasonable person is going to feel threatened by someone with a delusion of grandeur. But in regards to manhood being rooted in the oppression of women, that just tells me that there are a lot of individuals out there that really don't understand what it means for a man to be a man. A real true man who is comfortable in his masculinity does not oppress women. Only weak individuals try to oppress others.
Men, just so there's no confusion, I'm going to show you exactly what a woman's first move is to show you that she's interested, okay?
Well, wonderful. That ought to clear up a lot of confusion. I can really see that this is only going to lead to more confusion and more misunderstandings, because, quite frankly, a woman can look at a guy that way for a multitude of different reasons, to include being, quite frankly, just annoyed at him. So how is the guy exactly supposed to know if a woman just looks at him that she's interested? Perhaps try a more efficient method. Walking up to the gentleman and actually expressing some sort of interest or saying something that would actually leave no room for any misunderstanding. That would probably be the best way. But I understand a lot of women don't want to do that because they might actually get rejected. They would rather just look at someone coyly from across the room and imagine that the guy knows exactly what she's thinking.
I've come to the conclusion that in order for a man to even enter my life in any capacity, like even as a friend, you will have to genuinely get on your knees and start barking.
This is a joke, right? No person could actually expect another person to engage in a humiliation ritual just to get their attention. Right?
If not, I don't want to hear it. I genuinely, and I'm not saying people are like dying to talk to me, like men are not dying to talk to me, but if you are even thinking about it, get on the floor, get on your knees, bark. If you're not going to do that, shut up and get away from me.
Right. Okay. I could make several comments, even a joke or two, about a man barking at a woman to get her attention, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take the high road. But frankly, I can remember when jokes used to be funny and rage bait, well, it used to be at least somewhat believable. But now, this is what we've got.
Whether or not misandry is real, I really can't tell you. I don't think I'm the person to speak on this.
Well, I will be one of the ones to speak on this, even despite the fact that someone wants to disqualify half of the human population by virtue of what their gender happens to be on discussing this subject.
Do you know that there are women who are out there who are mean and cruel to men and hate men for no good reason? I also know that there's far more women, and it's much more common for a woman to be mean and cruel to men and hate men for very good reasons.
Oh, goody. Now we're making excuses for some individuals that decide that they hate an entire demographic of people. Does it work that way with skin color? Is that okay? Or is it only in regards to gender that it's acceptable to hate an entire population?
Because there's very good reasons to fucking hate.
There are good reasons to dislike some individuals in a population based on the actions that they specifically have done. I have never actually heard a rational and logical reason to absolutely dislike an entire population of people.
You should not be concerning yourself as a man with misandry.
Why? That makes no sense at all, considering misandry is the hatred of men. So yes, men absolutely should be concerned with it.
You should be concerning yourself with how to be the least misogynistic man that you can possibly be.
But most men aren't misogynists.
And if you want to sit here and say that you're not a misogynist, well, you're just lying to not only me, but yourself as well.
I've always believed that one person should never speak on behalf of an entire group of people, and what they just said demonstrated one of the reasons why.
This is just a PSA that I could never be married to a man that sleeps in.
Why? Would it be such a bad thing if a gentleman actually got some rest?
I could never be married to a man that sleeps in, and sleeps in longer than I do, and neither should you.
I always find these sorts of videos rather enlightening because it tells you a lot about the type of person that would say that, because they apparently don't see their partner as a person that deserves to take time for themselves, because instead of sleeping in, as was in the descriptor of that video, they should be up building a shed at 7 a.m. But let me remind a lot of you that agree with this lady's statement that if a man said this, that would be a whole different story, wouldn't it? It wouldn't go over so well. Because if a guy said that a woman should not be sleeping in, that she should be up cleaning the house, making breakfast, or any other number of various tasks, they would be going after him in droves. But as long as a woman says it about a man, well, that's okay. And some even consider it to be funny.
Hey, this is for the trad wives out there. Your husband is cheating on you.
Well, don't they seem pleasant? And I wonder what the reason is behind their theory.
Your husband is cheating on you because you're a weirdly vanilla-ass bitch.
Ooh, name-calling. That just solidifies the argument right then and there. But I wonder if they didn't even take into consideration for one moment that it's the fault of the cheater, not the person who's being cheated on. But then again, that does fall under the line of common sense.
I promise you, if you're a trad wife, if you're a Christian traditional woman,
Well, don't they just seem accepting of others?
your husband is cheating on you probably with a goth girl or a femboy.
Femboy. I'm gonna leave that one alone.
Also, if you're in the military,
Oh, this ought to be good.
your wife is cheating on you with people like me.
Now, see, women, when they cheat, they usually cheat up, not the other way around.
The more you reject a man, the more he wants you.
Ah, instructions on how to start a relationship by using unhealthy manipulation tactics. Gotta love the dating game.
Think back to high school, the mean, cold, emotionally unavailable bully who made you feel not very good about yourself, probably left some disrespectful comments, rejected you somehow, and bullied you. Even though you didn't like how they treated you, you desperately craved their approval.
What a great reference! Using possible traumatic events from a person's childhood to dictate how they should go about pursuing a relationship. Sounds healthy.
Rejection triggers the core need for love and acceptance.
So for a person to want to be accepted, they have to first be rejected? Okay.
Even with your man, if you pretend like he doesn't even exist, and if you reject him a little bit and you pull back a little, his ego's gonna freak out. Because he wants to win you over again. He's gonna seek your approval.
I wonder, what type of relationship will this type of advice ultimately lead to? I find it hard to believe that this will actually ultimately lead to a healthy relationship, because the building blocks of mind games and mental manipulation really do not often lead to what is known as a healthy relationship, because healthy relationships are built on mutual trust, communication, and mutual respect. And without those things, what exactly type of relationship will a person have?
But if you can't afford a woman's lifestyle, then date within your budget.
Ladies, something that you need to hear. But most men with a shred of self-respect or dignity are absolutely not going to date women that think like this.
Don't call her high maintenance. Don't act like she's the problem. She likes what she likes. You just can't provide it. That's not on her. That's on you.
Indeed. And those men that I mentioned can absolutely tell the difference between a liability and an asset. Oh dear. No, I never have, and I never will. It really is sad that there are individuals out there that can't conceive of the idea that a person would stand up for what they believe in and what they believe to be right without getting something out of it or without having an ulterior motive. That is quite sad.
And that's the thing about these men on social media is like they really are not aware that majority of men are unattractive.
Uh-huh. And why does that matter?
That's why your opinion does not matter. Unattractive people cannot tell me anything.
What? Was that supposed to make any sense? Just because a person happens to be attractive doesn't make them a more reliable source than an unattractive person. Good grief.
I'm sorry. Like, I don't find you attractive. You're balding. Balding people definitely can't tell me anything. Like, if you're balding, your opinion does... I don't care about your opinion.
Balding. Okay. Well, what about those individuals who happen to be overweight? Do their opinions matter, or is that subject to taboo?
There's lots of things that would make me not care about one's opinion.
Oh, such as?
Especially if you're a man, I really don't care about your opinion. Because most of you all are not attractive at all.
So they're only going to listen to a man if he's attractive enough. I guess that would be one of those situations of pretty privilege. In some people's eyes, unless you're attractive, your opinion simply doesn't matter. You have to be pretty.
Just be quiet. Just stop talking. How hard is it? Is it so wrong if you just stop talking? Modern women should learn the art of just not saying anything. Just for a second. I think there's a proverb that says somebody that's basically an idiot will make themselves to be wise just by not talking. Nobody's even going to know that you're an idiot because you never even said anything. They'll say, that man is pretty smart. He's observant. Wow, smart man. Haven't said anything. Until he starts talking, it's like, he should have kept his mouth closed. That's a lot of you modern women today.
Yeah, so I just walked into a coffee shop to get a coffee and I brought my book bag because I thought I was going to sit and do some work.
Obviously, there was some problem that prevented that. Otherwise, someone wouldn't be making this video.
There's like 5 guys in there. It's all dudes, no women.
Oh, how awful. Men in a public space.
And one of them's laughing, the other one's talking really loud, telling a story. The one dude's talking to the barista over the counter. I was like, I'm out. I'm out.
Of course. But wait until you hear the reason why.
Anytime you guys are having a little too much fun, I'm out. You suck. I don't want to fucking hear your voices, especially if you're talking loud. Fuck you. I actually hate all of you. You're having a good time? I'm out. I'm out.
And who says that misandry doesn't exist in the wild? Oh yes, gentlemen, there are some women out there that will get so upset about you minding your own business and having a good time in a public space, I might add, that they will have to then go off to their car and make a social media rant all about it.
The reason men tend to think women's tears are a form of manipulation is because that's the only reason they are willing to cry. Now let that sink in.
How very interesting. But what I have noticed about individuals who tend to make these sorts of statements is that they very conveniently leave out the very well-known occurrences of when men actually finally do open up and share their pent-up feelings and emotions, is that they are oftentimes shamed for doing so. And oftentimes it is not by other men, as often as a person would think. No, it is usually done by some very understanding women. And sadly, it's that same group of understanding women that would oftentimes use that outpouring of emotion and misplaced trust and use it against the man in the future. Because oftentimes it is not men that use crying as a form of manipulation. So this actually seems to be more of a case of projection and possibly wishful thinking more than anything else. Because men don't like to share their feelings and emotions. They don't feel safe in doing so. But I do find it odd that there would be someone thinking that men actually do so simply to manipulate others.
An incredible man is an average woman. Think about that.
Yes, let's think about that. And what are some examples?
Being clean, having a job, being able to cook for herself, doing laundry, keeping place tidy. Those are all average things a woman can do. And if a man can do that, he's absolutely phenomenal.
Well then, that settles it. Most men are absolutely phenomenal. Because those tasks don't make anyone exceptional if they can do them. That just means they're a functioning adult.
Again, just be quiet. You don't have to say a thing. It's not required that you say a thing. Just stop talking. Quit. Quit doing it. You don't have to say a thing, a word. Why do y'all say stuff that you know when you think about it? You know that didn't make sense for you to say. And you're going to say it anyway. What are you doing? What are you up to right now? Stop that.
I'm independent. I don't need no man taking care of me.
Cool, then you pay for your food and I'll pay for mine.
Wow. So you're really that broke? You can't even cover a first date? Unbelievable.
The switch up is so for real, and it's a huge indicator that you have a woman sitting in front of you that is just going to compete with you and never respect you and always play games with you. Because in the end all, she's just trying to prove that she's the greater person simply because she's a woman.
I can see now why men pull away emotionally, because it just happened to me today, and I got to see from a man's point of view what it's like to date a woman sometimes. This is no shade towards women in any way because I'm a woman. I completely understand, and I'm sure I do this as well. But it was funny because I came home, me and my sister lived together, and as soon as I get in the house, she just starts bitching at me about things that she wished I was doing, like cleaning the cat's litter box, setting up certain appointments, whatever it was around the house. And then all of a sudden I was thinking, like, no wonder I always just go to my room. Like, I don't want to be around you when as soon as they come into the door, you're just kind of nagging. What I was realizing is women do this all the time. We emotionally need to regulate. Like, there are certain times that you say, okay, if I want to actually get my partner to do something for me, because all that did is made me want to pull away and be like, fuck you, I'm not going to do it. And I can understand why men never do what you want them to do. You're like, I've told you a million times to do this, I've told you to do this, and you're like, why can't I get him to do things? Because you're not saying it in the best way.
If you really just believe that men are valid in their experience and in their emotions, for example, when they say that they don't want to be bombarded the second that they walk in the door from work, believe them that that is a valid thing, that they should have some downtime the second that they walk in the door. Unfortunately, not all women get this, and they actually will either one, have to experience it themselves like this woman did, or two, they just will never get it. And they're going to be fighting this constant battle of pretending like what men want and their feelings are not valid and that men are just always the ones in the wrong. And the truth is that the man of the last woman deserves better.
Yeah, I got him in here cooking tonight after he worked 12 hours. See, this is what you need to do when you come home from work, just like I do every other night, okay? I know he's going to say, well, you should be cooking every night because I pay the bills, but guess what? Guess what, buddy? That's not how it's going to work around here. You're going to put in some extra work when you get home.
Why don't you go in there while I'm doing this?
Because I need to make sure you're doing it correctly. What are you talking about? Don't try to push me out of my kitchen.
Yeah, well, you don't need to be up in my space while I'm cooking.
I'm not in your space. I'm just monitoring the situation. I'm making sure you're doing what you're supposed to do. And when you're done, you're going to clean all those dishes in that sink. Because they're not going to do themselves, and I damn sure ain't going to do them. Not after the day that I had staying home all day. I'm stressed out.
If you ever wondered what it would look like for a wife to completely hate her husband yet stay with him, this is it. With that being said, I think that the only path that this man has is to understand that there is no reversing or healing her resentment. It is too far gone, and the fact is that if he continues to just follow her demands, it's only going to get worse for him. So look, he's got two choices here. Either one, if he wants a relationship at some point, he needs to get out of this one first, so he needs to file the papers. The second choice he should take if he just wants as much peace as possible immediately, and that is to completely check out of the relationship. But let's not overlook the complete double standard here, because if that was a man speaking to his wife that way, the video would be gone, he would be put on blast, they would find out where he was working, where he lived, the cops would be called.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you love coming to Costco with your wife? 0. How much do you love coming to Costco with your wife? 0. Can I say negative? So what's the number? 0.
We come here all the time, so I probably 9 or 10.
Oh, wow! Right. 0. What's the number? Minus 0. How much do you love coming to Costco with your wife? Nothing. What's the number?
I guess 0.
How much do you love coming to Costco with your wife? 0. How much do you like coming to Costco with your wife?
0.
Most of these men, they just don't like shopping in a place where they have to push a cart around of pretty big, heavy items, and their wife is walking in front of them with a list, stressing about what to buy, how much to buy, and how much it costs. Especially when it's on a weekend when you just want to be sleeping in or doing something that you actually enjoy because you just spent the rest of the week working 12 hours a day. Did you guys notice how those husbands are still there and they're still pushing the cart? And they're still doing what they need to do and what their wife wants them to do? Are they going to answer the question honestly instead of just lying and pretending like they just love it? They're having a great old time? No. When you really think about it, are you having fun, ladies, when you're holding that list trying to figure out what you need to get? Give them some credit. They are there. They don't deserve all the hate they're getting in the comments.
I still stand by the fact that my husband is the ugliest man that I have ever met 5 years into our marriage. If you are single right now, it's because you want to be attracted to your partner, and that is just not realistic. I don't know how many times women on this app are going to have to say it. Find an ugly ass man and marry him. And I'm not talking about a guy that just needs a little brush up, okay? I'm talking about a terminally unattractive man. I sleep with an eye mask at night so that I have time in the morning to mentally prepare before I make eye contact with my husband. But here I am, married, and you're not, so who's laughing?
This is not what you think it is, because your husband wants you to be attracted to him. He doesn't want to hear that his wife has to wear an eye mask in order to prepare herself to see him in the morning. That's wild. And it's not like the stories where the woman meets a man and she's not initially attracted to him, but because she gets to know him and his personality and then like things happen. That really does happen. But that means that she becomes physically attracted to him. It does not mean that she has to talk herself and mentally prepare herself to see him. And a huge part of why he needs you to be attracted to him is because he wants to enjoy husband and wife things, especially in the bedroom, and he wants you to be into it. And if you're not into it, listen up, ladies, because I cannot say this loudly enough. He does not want it.
No sex till you start helping me around the house. I have decided that I am not going to have sex with my husband until he starts picking up more work around the house. Yes, I'm a stay-at-home mom, but it's a job. It's 100% a job, and I need help with certain things. Like yesterday, he was out doing wood all day long, and he could have been inside helping me with the house, but no. So now I have all this laundry to do. I have all these things. And I think that he should get off work. He just worked a 12-hour shift. I think he should get off work and he should help me with some of the priorities in the house. I'm going to hold out until he does those things. So if he doesn't do them, then he doesn't get anything.
The man is probably already tired of your excuses. Because if this is her mindset where her man is out there working 12-hour days and then she expects the world of him even when he comes back home and he's probably exhausted, instead of understanding that or even having multiple conversations about it and finding understanding in that, she decides to give some sort of ultimatum where she is threatening the one thing that's probably causing him to still hang in there. Whereas if they had that conversation, she would probably find out how exhausting his job is. And most importantly, she would come to the realization, hopefully, that she just needs to shift her priorities and maybe improve her time management skills. But if she doesn't come to that conclusion, we all know where this is headed. And honestly, her husband is better off.
To read some comments here because they're pretty entertaining. Algorithm, take me to her divorce update. Another one, I would tell her no access to the bank account. This is a woman that said that now. Another person says, it's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's divorce papers. Another person, next vid, he's cheating on me.
For all the men out there, if you ever wondered what it's like to be a woman, I am at a gas station. I am late for a meeting. And I pulled in, but this man who's very scary looking is sitting in his truck at the gas pump, not pumping gas. He hasn't gotten out of his car to pump gas.
Maybe that man isn't getting out of his truck to pump his gas because some lady has pulled up behind him who's very scary looking and she's not doing anything. She's just sitting there behind him. I don't actually think that you're scary looking. I'm just trying to make a point here. Because come on, whatever the point was of your video, which I don't understand what the point was other than to really just call this man scary looking and to pretend like you're in some sort of scary situation in order for people to come into the comments and like support you and give you all this sympathy. Come on, guys, there's pros and cons. There's things that women go through more than men, and there's things that men go through more than women. Absolutely, we can find understanding in that, but what we don't need is to call other people that you don't know scary looking.
Here's my question. Why don't men take initiative anymore? You guys love to talk all your talk online and texting and on dating apps, but when it comes to an actual date, where's the confidence now? I don't even know how many dates I've gone on that these men will like talk a big game and then we're there in person and it feels like I'm now babysitting you. Like you are so scared to make a move. And then the date will end and you haven't made a move. And so I'm like, okay, I guess that date sucked. And then you'll message me afterwards being like, oh my God, I really like you. Blah, blah, you're so beautiful. Can I take you out again? No. No, you can't take me out again. You cannot. You did not earn it. You did not do anything to earn a second date.
I can tell you with 100% certainty that you are missing out on the best of men if you allow this to eliminate them. Because this man either one, highly respects women and he's just cautious. He doesn't want to make the wrong move and make you feel uncomfortable. 2, he's super nervous because he really likes you. Or 3, this man is super aware of his weaknesses, which physical attraction can be one of those, which has gotten him into a little bit of a mess sometimes. So he doesn't want that to cloud his judgment, and he really just wants to focus on getting to know you as a person. I am telling you, all 3 of these reasons are because that man is a good man. I myself have personal experience in this because my now husband, he waited to kiss me until the 3rd date. And when we did finally kiss, it was super special and the sparks were flying. So ladies, I can tell you firsthand, it is definitely worth waiting for this kind of man. If you guys haven't seen this DoorDash delivery girl controversy, let me summarize it for you because I am seeing it all over my FYP. Basically, this woman DoorDash driver delivers food to this man's house, and come to find out this man is passed out on his couch inside in his living room with nothing on from the bottom down, just nothing on. What we don't know is how that woman came to find him that way, because she's claiming right now that the door was just wide open and he was purposely doing this. However, there's a lot of people right now that claim that they saw her original video and they saw her open the door because it was just open by a crack and then she ended up pushing it the rest of the way through. And then there's a whole nother group of people that say that they didn't see the video of her doing that, but then they did hear her say later on in a different video that she ended up taking down that she did push the door open. What we do know this woman did was that she got her camera out and she ended up taking a video of this man. What we also know is that that man is inside his house in his living room on his couch and he is passed out. What would happen? What kind of conversation would we all be having if the genders were reversed and it was actually a man delivery driver and he took his camera out and he videoed a woman that was in her living room, in her house, on her couch, naked. And then that man posted it publicly on social media because that's what this woman did. She ended up posting it publicly. With that being said, I think right off the bat, this woman loses credibility. Because first of all, if this is happening to you and you're later saying that it's like SA, that you are traumatized, why would you want that on your phone? You don't want that on your phone. Secondly, there's absolutely zero reason to post it publicly on social media when you should just be going to the police. Thirdly, even if the events happen exactly how she states, why not just send the complaint to DoorDash in case there's been any other complaints about delivery drivers that have come upon this? Because then if this is a guy that's like a repeat offender and he's doing this time and time again, which is most likely going to be the case if this was totally on purpose, then there you have it. Like your story is going to be credible. And to me, the fact that she posted it on social media and based off of her other videos where she's completely losing it because she's upset that she's the victim and people are questioning her, that alone can indicate that she is trying to exaggerate a story so that she has a story. And if that's the case, and this man really just fell asleep innocently on his couch while this woman was pushing the door open, it's pretty messed up because that man's life could be absolutely ruined just from the accusation. Even if it is proven that he didn't do it on purpose, the fact is that it's still out there. As soon as his name's out there, which she has posted his first name, and I think the first initial of his last name, it will ruin a man. That doesn't just get wiped away as soon as it's shown that he actually was innocent. That's what's really messed up.
Women like to say that men who get rejected become the rudest assholes in the world, which I somewhat agree. However, have you ever rejected a girl from sex? Have you ever said, "I'm not piping you today"? That reaction. That's a reaction. She's gonna call you gay, bro.
You're just listening to your truth. You're just being honest with yourself. To choose yourself, even when it's super uncomfortable, that takes a lot of courage. And it's not selfish. You can appreciate what you've had, the love that you had, the things that you shared together, and still acknowledge that it's time to move on. It's okay to want more for yourself. And you're brave for not settling because there are a lot of people that stay in relationships they don't want to be in because they're too afraid to.
Newsflash, marriage should not be treated the same way as when you're dating. You play by different rules when you're married because you made a commitment. You made vows to stay together through better or worse. That means that you should do everything that you can to maintain the relationship. You shouldn't just give up so easily. So when you say that you're just not feeling it, you're just not happy anymore, you're just feeling like you were a different person when you chose him, and so now you want to leave. After you promised that you would stay around forever, I think that does kind of make you the bad guy. And look, no one's holding you down in that marriage. Like, the man, if he knows that you really want to leave, like, he would rather you just leave. But in those situations, I don't think that it's fair to say that it was a mutual thing, and definitely not right for you to make him the bad guy. Which is why if you make a promise and then you end up breaking that promise, you should absolutely take accountability for that. And you should treat it as so, which means that during divorce proceedings, you shouldn't try to take everything that he has. You should actually maybe give him a little bit more.
This girl said to choose yourself even when it's super uncomfortable. Like, you're choosing yourself so you can be comfortable. The feelings to you are icky because you don't like negative emotions. But that's the reason you're divorcing the good man, is because you don't like negative emotions. You don't like how you feel specifically. Oh, well, he doesn't let me do 100% his bills, 0% me. He makes me do 50-50. I can't have a soft life. Icky feelings. I've got a comment here. A woman says, it's 100% selfish. My mom did it, my sister did it, and I almost did it until I realized I was making the biggest mistake of my life. You fight for your marriage. You shouldn't walk away because of yourself first, obviously. And then she says there are circumstances that are toxic and you need to get away. Yes, a lot of men agree with that, right? But that's different. After being married for several years, it becomes stagnant. That is when you work harder, you have those hard conversations, you learn how to appreciate each other again. These are real things that all marriages go through. Absolutely. It has to. Anytime you have a kid, anytime you go through big changes in your life, I mean, you're going to do it by yourself, but you're only processing it by yourself. You don't have to process it with somebody else, right? So you're still going to have to work on yourself. Your life is going to become stagnant. You're going to have to do whatever you need to do in order to get better. But that's how it works in a relationship. And like she said, you can't be afraid of those conversations, of being honest. I mean, you don't have to be a jerk about it, but yeah, man, you don't beat around the bush. Say exactly what's bothering you, and try to work forward to figure out a pathway to where you guys are both happy.
All the men out there, just know that every single time that she emasculates you, she puts you down, she talks shit to you, she cheats on you, she lies to you, she feels like she has to put her butt cheeks on the internet for validation. Just know that this is a woman who hates herself, and she's projecting all of her hatred towards herself onto you. Some of you need to really learn that a lot of these women will project all of their self-hatred onto you to bring you down to their level so they can feel better about themselves. And then they get on the internet talking about, oh, all men hate women, blah, 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 when really inside they hate themselves so much that they want you to feel the same level of angst and hate toward yourself. There is absolutely no reason in the world that a woman should talk shit to you, emasculate you, talk about your manhood, talk about your finances, or talk about you in any kind of negative light if you've done absolutely nothing to deserve it. A lot of these women do not just have daddy issues. They have a lot of mommy issues because they were raised by single mothers who taught them to hate men. Oh, and here's the kicker. If a woman tells you that she used to sleep around and now all of a sudden she wants to be pure and she wants to be celibate with you because she's trying to somehow be a better woman, don't let her gaslight you into making you think that it's about her growth. It's about her using you to get you, to get what she needs out of you, than to dump you for the guy that she actually wants. You have to understand that so many women are so manipulative and their only goal is to get as much out of you as you can provide, because a lot of you do pride yourself on being providing men, and the women that know that will suck your life out of you and soul suck you into being a shell of a human being, and then turn around and call you narcissistic while they simultaneously gaslight you into being lesser of a human because they hate themselves. These are the same types of women that will consistently accuse you of cheating when you've shown them your phone time and time again. You've been honest. You've been loyal the entire time. They have a level of insecurity. They are weak-minded and they take it out on you. Okay, bye.
You speaking the truth, and you speaking nothing but the truth. It's what I keep on saying. These modern women really don't like each other. They don't like themselves, I should say. And what they try to do is, well, they need constant validation. So what they're trying to do is get around women who will give them that constant validation, right? Oh, I know a baddie when I see one. Well, I guess, you haven't seen one yet, honestly. And let me take it even a step further, because some of these women, beautiful ladies, right? Body is tea, as they say, but their attitude, their self-esteem, their self-esteem is in the dirt. Their self-esteem is not very good. Sorry, I just had a moment there. Just a wave of emotion came over me. Anyway, their self-esteem is in the dirt, right? And so that's where the makeup comes in. That's where the hair, the lashes, the nails, all of that comes in. I mean, if they sit up here and talk about what it takes to be a woman in this society, and in honesty, when you look at it, it is a lot. It is a lot. Well, I got to go get my nails done, my lashes done, because I see this woman getting her nails and her lashes done. So I got to do that. She's pretty, so I want to do that. And they try to blame it on men, but it has nothing to do with men. It has nothing to do with men. It has everything to do with how they're trying to show up in relationships, whether it be romantically or platonically. And then they try to say, well, wait a minute. I've built up my self-esteem from being in the dirt to being somewhat decent. And I expect a man to notice not just my beauty, but I expect him to reward my effort, right? And that's something that you have to deal with as a person. That doesn't have anything to do with the man. And just because the man doesn't grovel at your feet does not mean that he's trash.
Majority of dads are not narcissistic, abusive pieces of shit. Most women will tell themselves that he is a narcissistic piece of shit so she can justify whatever her toxic behavior is, and two, so she can justify leaving. Because someone explained it to me how dads will go from like father of the year, he's such a great husband, but now that she wants a divorce and she's unhappy, he's a piece of shit, he's narcissistic, he emotionally and physically and financially abused her. To all of the men that are out here struggling, just understand that she's trying to paint you as the villain so she never has to look in the mirror. And all she's going to do is turn around and have those same toxic traits in her next relationship. But not only that, is she resents the fuck out of you because one, you stayed committed to her and all of her toxic behavior, and she hates you for that because she didn't stay committed to you within the relationship. She gave up. But not only that, she likely moved away back to her hometown or moved in with her parents because now she's doing the whole single mom vibe, and you cannot help her on the day-to-day because she moved so far away that is the only reason that you just get weekends or you just get, spring break and summer breaks. And she hates you for it because now she has to actually do everything by herself. And then to make matters worse, she dates a bunch of losers because she feels like she missed out while she was married to you. So she hates herself even further. So she's going to attack your new girlfriend or your new wife. And she's going to date these losers that want nothing to do with her children while simultaneously being mad at you for not being there 24/7. Even though she's the one that left in the first place. So it's anger, it's resentment, it's her narcissism, it's selfishness. It is her looking at her children and resenting motherhood because she lost her freedom being a mom. She takes all this shit out on you because she expected you to come into her life and change the man that you actually are. She ignored all of the red flags that you have. And every single time that you changed for her, you changed into somebody that she didn't even like in the first place, and she hates herself for that. So no, it's not that you were never a good dad. It's just the only way that she can live, breathe, and survive as like justification for all of her poor behavior is to paint you as the villain. Okay, bye. Can someone explain to me why I just saw a woman's post where she's saying that women no longer need the financial support of men, and that the problem is men because they are not emotionally in tune and they need to bring more to the table? And to that I ask you is, what about all of the women still taking alimony from their ex-husbands that refuse to get a job? What about all of the baby moms that claim that they do it all by themselves, right? But at any given point, they're texting their baby daddy like, yo, where's my child support? I'll take it even a step further to the women that are dating and who have dated intentionally just to get free food, like the woman who spent a month going on a date every single night so she didn't have to buy groceries. And let's be so for real, it's not that men are not changing and that men are not evolving. It's simply the fact that so many women only focus on the negative aspects of a relationship that they starve the relationship of having any positive outcome. So even though your man is changing every single step of the way and he's doing all of the things as you ask him to do it, you'll still tackle on the next thing because the goalpost keeps changing. And let's not forget the amount of women who still depend on a man in some way because they would rather spend their money on maintaining their appearance than investing or putting it towards retirement or setting up a future for themselves that exists without men. And let's not forget the amount of women that when they talk about what they look for in a man, it's never about his kindness, his emotional maturity, all the bullshit that these women claim that they want. The first thing out of their mouth is that they need a providing man. But when that man provides in the way that he knows how to provide, if it's not the way that you conjured it up in your imaginary mind, then he's not a provider and he's like DL gay and he doesn't like women and yap about how men hate women. And the truth is, men will absolutely provide financial stability to the women that they feel deserve it. So if you are a lazy ass woman who is uninspired, has no ambition, wants to basically be a teenage adult and sit home and eat snacks and scroll social media for 8 hours a day, that man's not going to like you. He's not going to respect you and he's not going to want to continue to provide for you. Like, make it make sense. It's the same way that you don't want a bum ass loser that doesn't have a car or a job. Well, grown ass men don't want adult children as their wives. Okay, bye. If you walk in front of a woman, you're not gentleman enough, but if you walk behind a woman, then you are potentially dangerous and could be looked at as a rapist. Scold your children, then you're a monster of a man. But if you don't scold your children enough, then you're not in tune with your fatherhood. Text a woman too much, then it comes off desperate. But if you text her too little, then you're not putting in enough effort and you're an effortless man. If you cry too much, then you're a weak man and a baby and a man-child. But if you cry too little or not enough, then you're an emotionless man and not emotionally intelligent. At work too much or too late, then you're an irresponsible man. But if you're not working enough, then you're lazy and probably a jobless man. For a man that takes care of himself and gets ready in the morning, then you're a girly man. But if you don't take time to get ready and you lack hygiene, then you're a disgusting man. Out or get angry, then you're not disciplined enough. But if you stay quiet and you're a doormat, then you're not man enough. Care about money and finances, then that means that you don't put enough into your family. But also, if you make too little money and don't care about finances, then you're irresponsible and not doing enough for your family. If your wife beats you up, then you're a weak man. But if you beat up your wife, then you're disgusting and you're a disgrace. Of course, if you cheat, it's your fault, but if she cheats, it's also your fault. Okay, bye.
A lot of these modern women have made a career out of doing a lot. Yay, even too much. Too much out here, making up rules as they go along. That, quite honestly and truly, makes the world an insufferable place. At least the dating world. I mean, I know men are like, well, I'm looking at a guy right now that says reason number 8,627 as to why I'm single. Y'all are making it easier for men not to date y'all or pay for any dinner.
If you walk in front of a woman, you're not gentleman enough, but if you walk behind a woman, then you are potentially dangerous and could be looked at as a rapist. Scold your children, then you're a monster of a man, but if you don't scold your children enough, then you're not in tune with your fatherhood. Text a woman too much, then it comes off desperate, but if you text her too little, then you're not putting in enough effort and you're an effortless man. If you cry too much, then you're a weak man and a baby and a man-child. But if you cry too little or not enough, then you're an emotionless man and not emotionally intelligent. At work too much or too late, then you're an irresponsible man. But if you're not working enough, then you're lazy and probably a jobless man. For a man that takes care of himself and gets ready in the morning, then you're a girly man. But if you don't take time to get ready and you lack hygiene, then you're a disgusting man. Out or get angry, then you're not disciplined enough. But if you stay quiet and you're a doormat, then you're not man enough. If you care about money and finances, then that means that you don't put enough into your family. But also, if you make too little money and don't care about finances, then you're irresponsible and not doing enough for your family. If your wife beats you up, then you're a weak man. But if you beat up your wife, then you're disgusting and you're a disgrace. Of course, if you cheat, it's your fault, but if she cheats, it's also your fault. Okay, bye.
Revealing men's secrets that I know and learn about, episode 1. All men are softies. All of them. Every single one. Not one of you is beating the allegations. Even the ones that you're like, him? No, that's not a softie. That snapping spiky turtle of a man who reeks of Marlboro Reds? Still a softie. He just doesn't feel safe enough with you to show you his belly. Till you make him feel as safe as whatever 60 to 100 pound dog he's got waiting for him at home, he's not showing you. Now, one important thing to note is that once a man does show you his soft side, if you make fun of it, you will never see it again. That's how you turn a softie into a nonchalant man. And I know how you feel about nonchalant men. It's not that you can't get a guy to show you his soft side after he's already been made fun of for it before, but it's gonna be like a lot harder to get him to crack. And I'm just saying, this is why a lot of people love the story of the Grinch. Why? Because all they had to do was hand the angriest dude in town, the cutest little kid in town, and it made him love people again. Because men are softies. You know I'm right. Bye! Revealing secrets about men I know and learn, episode 2. So they actually love the weirdest, most awkward physical parts of you that you think everyone hates. You know that little pouch we have, like all of us have it, we're all insecure about it, the little place we put our extra cookies? Dudes are obsessed with that thing. They want it on their forehead. I also finally realized why they call them love handles, and it's debaucherous. They love weird teeth. Snaggle teeth, little gaps in the teeth, and they get really mad when you suggest wanting to fix them. Oh, they like weird noses. They like those tiny little who noses that point up a little. They like big noses with the aquiline bump like what I have. They love that stuff. Like, the less easy you are to replicate with AI, the more attracted guys will probably be to you. Oh wait, dude, I forgot stretch marks. Ooh, they love them tiger stripes, girl. Oh dude, they really like scars. Like especially cool scars, but also very uncool scars. They just like scars. And to prove everything I'm saying is true, even though the men are mad at me for tattling on them right now, they're still gonna comment down below even more physical things that they find cute because guess what? We don't all hate each other. Anyway, that's all. Bye! Okay, do you guys remember when this video went super viral of a bunch of dudes screaming into a waterfall and everyone was making fun of it? We had I'm Crying, What Is This? Queens, Anything But Therapy, Powerful Roar, Let's Be So Serious Right Now, This Is So Memeable, I'm Crying. Like I said, they got dragged. But I looked into it, and this is just one of many activities led by a group called Amend Movement, which claims to be a place to support men who are looking to make positive changes and strengthen in relationships, which is the exact type of healthy masculinity and disruption of antisocial behavior that we've been asking for, and we're making fun of them for it. Which is especially rich when on my exact same algorithm I run into videos like this. What's this? Let's open the comment section. They love it. That's my sister. Chills. Or what about this? No, wait. Let's open the comments and... Okay, so it looks like we love this when women do it. This is all to say, let's not gatekeep screaming into the void. Screaming into the void knows no gender. Screaming into the void is for us all.
It's because these women are stupid, man. Just stupid. The man will go in and do things that the woman says they want men to do. Like a man will walk into a Pilates studio or a yoga class, and women will be like, because why is a man there? Because I thought that you said maybe getting into something other than weightlifting would be good for me. I'm here to meditate, bro. I'm here to try to connect with my inner self, bro. Why don't you leave me alone? Okay? Y'all always want to mess around with a man's space. But then when a man says, oh, let me broaden my horizons, because y'all told me I needed to, then all of a sudden it's, why is a man in our space? Just leave us alone. Why do men?
Revealing Secrets I Know and Learn About Men, Episode 3. Have you ever wondered why your man is so annoying? Bear with me here. It's because he wants to be. The more a man sees you when you're pissed off or angry, the more addicted to it he becomes. And you don't understand because you don't see how cute/hot you get when you're mad. And it's not that he's trying to patronize you or not take your feelings seriously. He knows how important it is to validate you and make you feel safe. At least he better. It's just hard to not find you adorable when you're yelling at him like this. Now, he would prefer that it be something external that's making you mad so that you can unite against a common enemy. But if things are a little too chill and he needs his grumpy girlfriend fix, he's gonna have to find a way to annoy you. This usually comes in the form of either tickling you or farting directly on you. If a man goes out of his way to fart on you, he is obsessed with you. Anyway, that's enough from me. Bye! We need to talk about not all men, but always a man. Except for when it's a woman. I'm sorry, Casey Anthony, Sherry Papini, Ghislaine Maxwell. In those cases, there was a woman. Like, at least we're starting to acknowledge the not all men part, I guess. It's just so aggravating that we have yet another slogan that forces all men to wear the mantle and identity of the worst, most depraved minority of them, especially when it doesn't survive the other way around, and I don't even mean the gender swap. What I mean by that is that men also take up the majority of laborers who build infrastructure, the majority of firefighting personnel, and disproportionately work the world's most dangerous jobs. But when a baby is pulled out of a burning building, people don't say, not every man, but always a man. Y'all would hate that and immediately remind us that women are also capable of saving babies from burning buildings, even though statistically the patterns are the same. In fact, did you know that what the data and research actually points to is that it's more like not all men, only 1% of them? Multiple studies since the 60s have told us that only 1% of the population of all men is responsible for over half of all violent crimes. So it's really not true at all that all men are bad or dangerous. It's just that the small amount of bad and dangerous men are doing almost all of the bad and dangerous stuff. But definitely not all of it. We as women can't just shirk all of the blame for all of the bad and dangerous stuff onto men. That's bullcrap. Like, you were almost there. You finally had it. You finally said, not all men. Just leave it at that. Leave it at that. It's good. It's good there. Unless you want me to start all womaning stuff. No, you don't want me to paint women under the same monolithic umbrella? Okay, I thought so. Revealing Secrets I Know and Learn About Men, Episode 4. Okay, so as it turns out, men do not actually love hoes. They do not love them. They do not want to save them. Trust me, I know it looks like it sometimes, but it's kind of like how women don't actually love men who mistreat them, even though it looks like it sometimes. So hear me out. So we're like halfway there. So men love mothers, right? But men don't necessarily want a woman to already be a mother when he starts dating her. Exceptions can be made, but you know where I'm going with this. All right, I'm just gonna say it. Ideally, he wants to be the one to turn you into a hoe. He doesn't want you to be some average run-of-the-mill freak. He wants to personally patent his own brand of freak into you. He doesn't want a woman who craves any old time. He wants a woman who craves time with him, what they do together. A chef would not want you to be so addicted to food that you can barely walk into the restaurant, but he probably does want you to prefer his style and service. Okay, maybe not the best example because people don't typically eat exclusively one restaurant for their entire lives, but still. Basically, he doesn't need you to be overindulgent in hoedom. He wants you to like him enough and feel safe enough around him to be a hoe. Also, fun fact about this episode, it works the exact same way if you flip around the genders. Oh, I'm sorry, did you think women wanted a man with 5 different child support orders in 3 different counties? No. Discernment looks good on everybody. Okay, bye. Okay, so we need to talk about DoorDash SA Girl. If you haven't seen it, this video is going completely viral where this girl was working through DoorDash when she approached a door which seemed to be cracked open, and when she looked inside, a man was laying there with his pants down to his ankles and he was exposed. She felt pretty violated by this, and fair enough. There really are a lot of guys who try to bait women into seeing them exposed like that, so I don't blame her for thinking that might have been what was going on. However, how she chooses to handle this is by pulling her phone out and recording the man fully exposed and posting it to TikTok. So after that video got 10 million views, she ended up getting fired from DoorDash, which she sees as an injustice and them silencing her for trying to tell her story about how she was essayed. But here's the problem. If she experienced essay because a man exposed himself to her when she did not expect it, then she also committed essay by exposing all of us to it, but worse, because she exposed like 10 million of us to it. It's crazy to me that she perfectly understands how walking in and seeing that unexpectedly was definitely essay, but that her recording a non-consenting man's nude body and posting it online in the world's most popular social media platform is totally fine. Ma'am, I am afraid to inform you, you have committed a federal crime, actually. No, seriously, that's called revenge porn, and like, they could get you. Could this guy have been trying to show himself off to her? Yes, he could have, but he has this element called plausible deniability. You definitely and for sure pulled out your phone with full and complete intent at recording someone's nude body in the privacy of their own home without their consent. That's worse. And if you don't think it's worse, it's definitely at least more provable of a crime. And like, she still does not understand what she did wrong. She still does not understand why she lost her job. She does not understand why TikTok took down the video of this guy's full hog out. She doesn't get it at all. So we can't save her, but we can learn from her. If you see an errant wiener, do not photograph it and post it on TikTok. Okay? Hope we learned something.
And then got mad at the consequences of it, bro. Like, I like everything that Lauren is saying right here. Could be that he opened the door, he some sort of fetish, because let's be honest, there's some men out there on that type of time. And there's a lot of men out there that are going to call him out and say, bro, that's weird stuff, bro. Don't do that. I was actually watching, and to the point of women saying that men don't call other men out, bro, there's this dude on, can't remember what his name was, but bro was in and out of jail because he's hunting down predators. Bro, I guess he lures predators, kind of almost like To Catch a Predator with Chris Hansen, Dateline NBC. And it's that, but like like with the, what do you call it, civic justice, I think. This man, what he does is, like, I guess he lures them out. Then once he finds them, he puts something on them. He puts something on him. I say it like that. He chased this man. Man tried to run back into his restaurant, try to lock the door behind him. Man grabbed that door, yanked it open, walked that man down all the way to the man, tried to basically sit at the table and say, get out of here, the police are coming. No, bro, the police ain't nowhere in sight. They not nowhere in sight, bro. You are at the mercy of this man. All right, it got real confrontational. That man has put hands on predators. That man's been in jail. He's had to have his fans bail him out. So men will definitely call out other men, and they will definitely handle some situations, right? But men will see this and be like, that's weird. Why would he do that? But you, on the other hand, for some reason, you're thinking that you can exploit somebody and then get away with it. And then when the backlash comes, you're like, dang, I never expected it to go this way. Well, it did.